Hey parents, we are back for another writing celebration for fourth graders. It's just been awesome this year in writing, how they have grown in three things. One is having a hook. The hook can be questions, but we're learning just this last week that you can put in background too. Background is everything you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch. And then we're also, third thing we're learning to put in evidence that flows, evidence that elaborates, and that's what we are going to celebrate right now. We were reading a ReadWorks article. It was called The Winter Blues. In my hometown of Fergus Falls, Minnesota, it was actually 6 below zero this week with a wind chill of 30 below. So we know about winter blues up there. And so Madison started hers out with questions. Questions can be a great hook. So she says, do you have the winter blues? Do you know about the winter blues? Do you know that the winter blues take away happiness? But then she added more hook where she's adding background. Background is everything we can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. And it gives us really an image, a picture, and it makes the reader want to read it. On one day, the people in town were miserable and the happiness was gone. The kids were sad. They didn't want to play. They were sad. They wanted to get the sadness out of town. And then she tells about how to get rid of the winter blues. Here's Adams. Have you ever been in the cold and felt sad? The water was freezing and crackling, and it was cold and not a sunny day. People were sad, and the birds were not chirping. And they wanted to find out how to be happy again. And so then he's telling about all the evidence of how you can get rid of the winter blues. Here's Patrick's. He's titled it The Winter Blues. It was a horrible day. You can't even see the sun at all. The temperature went down below zero, and nothing could make this day worse unless the temperature dropped again. And he goes on to tell more, and then evidence to get rid of the winter blues. Here's Connors. Do you know what the winter blues are? Do you know how to cure the winter blues? It was a sad and cold morning. There was sadness everywhere around the color gym, and the sky was as white as the snow in the cold winter. And then he adds the good statement, which is his focus. I wonder how to cure the sad winter blues. Beautiful writing. Here's another one. Have you ever felt sad in the winter? Have you ever gotten the winter blues? Do you know how to not get sad in winter? It was a chilly day and the geese were migrating and the lake was frozen as a rock. Wow, that's a simile. There were snowflakes falling from the sky on the trees, and deer were eating grass covered in snow, and the bears were in their dens hibernating. And then she talks about the winter blues. That was Mia C. Wow, totally beautiful. Here's another one. Lincoln's. Have you been sad? You get sad in the winter? The chill wind blew across the air. The owner of the house was sad that he was never happy. And he says tears were dripping down his eyes. Awesome, Lincoln. Here's Andrews. Have you ever had the winter blues? Do you know how to deal with the winter blues? Today I saw geese migrating. The lake was frozen. The lake was hard as a rock. Everything was covered in snow. Beautiful, Andrew. Here's another one. Have you ever cried because it's December? Have you ever seen someone cry out in the cold? Have you ever been sad when it's cold? One day I woke up and was about to go on a winter walk until I opened the door. There was ice and snow everywhere. It's Amelia. She just joined us. Good job, Amelia. Here's Maya. Do you know what the winter blues are? Does your emotion change in winter? Do you know how to stop the winter blues? One winter morning, the sun was gray in the winter. Sweet, Maya. Do you know what the winter blues are? Did you get sad in the winter? One cold winter day, everyone spilled their bucket of happiness. Oh my gosh, what a metaphor that is. Everyone looked like something bad happened to them. A winter blue struck. Winter blues are when, and then he goes on to tell about that and how to get rid of them. That was Johnny's. Beautiful, Johnny. Here's another one. Do you feel sad for no reason? Do you feel emotional in the winter or any kind of season? Do you like seasons? It was a cold winter day. Branches were covered with snow, and even the trees were covered with snow too. Cars were sliding down the street, and animals were cold and freezing. And when the temperature goes down, now she's getting into her evidence. People sometimes feel sad for no reason, and that was Anastasia's. Wow, fantastic. Look at all of her evidence. Beautiful. Here's Bella's. Have you ever had the winter blues? Do your moods change with the seasons? It was a dark and snowy night. People were sad for no reasons. And then she tells about the winter blues. Way to go, Bella. Listen to this. Oh my gosh, this is profound. The start of December had just struck. It was now cold. You could hear the wind whistle. You feel very sad and cold, and you do not know why. If you do feel this way when winter starts, that means you have the winter blues. And then she has a flood of evidence. Amazing. Marissa, oh my gosh, that was great. Here's one. Tears are dripping down faces all over the world. Crying is washing away the salt on the sidewalk. Everyone is shivering in the cold breeze. Don't you think these sad souls know how to help these winter blues? Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That was Mason's. Wow. Here's another one. Do you know what the winter blues are? See, questions are such a good hook. Mr. Trenton starts his out with that. Here's another one. Do you know the winter blues? Do you know how to stop the winter blues? Repeated questions as the main idea are astounding. Do you know why people get sad with the winter blues? It was a silent and sad morning. The sky was dark like the color black. Winter blues splattered out into the air. Oh my gosh, what words. This is so awesome. Snowflakes were coming down like leaves falling from a tree. It was chilly and a hard wind was banging houses. And then she starts talking about the winter blues. That was Michelle's. Totally profound. Here's another one. The sun was down. The feeling of the winter blues in my skin. The smell of crimes filled my nose. I'm not sure if that's the word you wanted, but awesome. That was Mia S. Here's another one that starts out with a question. Why are we so sad in the winter? Is it because we stay inside? No, it's because of the winter blues. What are the winter blues? Just beautiful flow of his language. Winter blues is when you are sad for no reason in the winter. And he tells all about them, and that happened to be Dylan's. Winter blues. What can solve the winter blues? Do you like winter? Have you ever had the winter blues? Did you get the winter blues? Do you know what can solve the winter blues? It was a freezing, frigid morning. The wind was blowing through the air like a helicopter, spinning and swooshing in the air, making all the trees blow everywhere. Everyone was freezing in the cold breeze. That was Kylea's, and then she tells about what to do about it. Has your mood ever changed in the season? So have you ever wanted to know how the emotion changed the season? It was a dark day and no one was out and the birds were in their nests. It was silent, and the only thing you could hear was a car starting and cars driving. Then he tells about the winter blues. That was Ian's. Here's Mackenzie's. Have you ever had the winter blues? Do you like winter? Have you ever been sad? One cold morning, the family woke up and they were all sad, and you could see the snow falling from the sky. Way to go, Mackenzie. So every day as the students write, we show their writing on the screen and we celebrate it, which nudges everyone. Yeah, that's how to write. And so I can't say enough about the fourth graders this year and the growth they have made. And so every day, yes, we write and write and write, and that's going to make it become automatic within us for the rest of our lives. Yahoo, fourth grade.